Youngstown, Ohio is a complex city. It once stood as a pillar of American industry, an economic hub fueled by steel and sustained by a proud, working-class community. But the collapse of manufacturing in the late 20th century brought deep and lasting challenges: economic decline, population loss, and a city struggling to redefine itself. But this is not a story about decline, it's a story about what comes after. This documentary explores the people and organizations reimagining Youngstown's future. It's a story of resilience, of community, and of a city determined to shape its future.
Hi, my name is Ian BENISTON. I'm the Executive Director of the Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation in Youngstown, Ohio. The goal of the Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation, or YNDC as many people call it, is to stabilize and revitalize neighborhoods throughout Youngstown and Mahoning County, really our region at this point. That entails working with neighbors to improve housing quality, increase the quality of life, and make neighborhoods that are attractive for all people. In terms of our work, broadly speaking, in the city of Youngstown specifically, there's kind of two facets to it. One is the services that we provide citywide, so our home repair services, our board up, our general neighborhood cleanup that we're doing everywhere. And then there's what I would describe as this more targeted, focused, comprehensive neighborhood revitalization, neighborhood stabilization work. The selection process, the identification process for vacant homes, vacant lots begins with those target areas. So first we have these specific locations that we're focused on and investing in, putting a lot of energy into cleaning up and developing. And then within those locations, we're attempting to build from strength. We're not going to necessarily start on the worst block, but we'll start on the best block and then move accordingly as we stabilize block by block. Our process is really an incremental block by block process where we're attempting to address all the issues on a street. So it's not just fix one house here and then move on to another street. It's fix the vacant house on the street that we're able to renovate, tear down the one that's too severely blighted, can't be salvaged, assist the homeowners that need assistance, and then over time perhaps fill in the vacant lot where we tore down that house with a new build, a new construction. As far as why YNDC is and was needed, so I thought it was needed along with many other people. I'd moved back to Youngstown in 2008 after completing graduate school at the Ohio State University, studying city planning. That began work on the south side of Youngstown, not far from where we're sitting here, doing some basic neighborhood level organizing, working with neighbors on issues of blight, crime, basic quality of life stuff. I quickly realized that, organizing could only take us so far. We needed some sort of implementation vehicle to actually do, at that time, basic neighborhood cleanup and eventually get into development. I would also add, I grew up in Youngstown on the north side of the city, not far from Crandall Park. Largely in the 90s, I would say. I'm a child of the 90s. That I would characterize as a fairly significant period of decline for the city. So, what I was exposed to then was a city in decline. As I came of age as a person and started to gain exposure to other places that I'd traveled to and knowledge that I did not have, I knew generally that the city did not have to continue to exist in the state that it was in. And it was incumbent upon us who were here to take action to improve it and to change that. If we don't do it, we, the people that are here, no one's going to do it for us. I needed to do my part to perhaps make the future a bit different than the present. I think for me, the vehicle has been the Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation, and continuing, like I said, to bring together people, partners, resources, money to get work done to improve our neighborhoods and make them places that we're proud to live. When YNDC began. It was really a ragtag band of volunteers. None of us were paid. We were going out working together, using the resources we had, which were limited, to board up vacant houses. For example, in this neighborhood, we started by using the workshop, the theater workshop at the Youngstown Playhouse, to cut up boards, paint them, organize church and neighborhood volunteers. Then we'd go out, clean up the vacant properties, but just showing your neighbors, your constituents, that there are things you can do, even in the face of significant decline, distress, blight, and limited resources. There still are actions you can take. So I think organizing people together, listening, showing some simple wins, and then incrementally building, because we didn't get to the point that we're at now, and the point we'll be in another 10 years by something just changing overnight. It's been an incremental evolution that we're constantly working at. So, but the advice would be listen, organize, start simple.
My name is KELCEY NORRIS, and I'm a reporter / editor at Mahoning Matters, and I've been doing that for 2 years now. I was inspired to pursue a career as a journalist because I wanted to be a writer first and foremost, and I loved getting to meet new people and tell their story and get to know them on the page. The goal of Mahoning Matters is to be all about Mahoning Valley, anything and everything. We talk about business, health, restaurants, real estate is my new beat that I've been working on, and just anything from Columbiana County, Mahoning County, and Trumbull County that we think our readers would be interested in. So I went to school at YSU, and my connections through YSU kind of helped me find this job at Mahoning Matters. It was through a lot of my good friends that I even heard about the website, and Mahoning Matters was bought out by a larger company called McClatchy, and when McClatchy was looking for a reporter, they thought that I would be a good fit because I worked at WKBN, I went to school here, and I have a lot of different connections with organizations like Mill Creek Park, Mercy Health, that kind of thing. When I first got interested in being a journalist, I thought that journalism meant journaling in a notebook. And so I really just loved to write, and that was kind of what inspired me to join journalism and take a journalism class back in high school. And then once I learned what journalism actually was, that it was news and connecting with people and writing stories, I fell in love with that. So the way that I figure out what I think we should report on, what I think I should write on, is I collaborate a lot with my editor. We use other news sources as inspiration to find stories, and I also just listen to people. I ask them a lot of questions about what they think we should be reporting on, and following up with past sources about what we should be reporting on. And I also just use a lot of social media websites. Facebook is a huge one for finding news sources, finding what people care about. An example is a lot of protests are going on right now, so it's not something that I usually would cover, but it's something that people have been talking to me about, just friends, family, and something that we think is important to put a spotlight on. It's important for people in Youngstown, people in Mahoning County, to have access to reliable news sources because that's where we get our information, and that's where we find our voice, and it's how we can connect to our community better. It's also important for our future because a lot of the time when I'm writing an article, I'm looking up past articles, and I think that the work that I do now and the work that local journalists do now are helping community members in the future that we don't even know about yet. I think in Youngstown, people are trusting of their local news because it's been so established for so long, and we like to make face-to-face interactions and make sure that we are presenting ourselves as not just a corporation, but another person-to-person interaction. I think a lot of the times, ever since the attacks on media in 2016, I think that it's been really hard for me to understand that I am a good part of the community, and that journalism isn't bad, and trying to make sure that your sources understand that you're not trying to take from them, you're trying to help them as well. I think that local journalists can help shape the future of Youngstown by continuing to just work hard and document the things that are are being talked about and aren't being talked about. I think that our role can be important for the future generation of historians, future generations of writers who they can look back and see that we have survived through this tough time from 2016 when fake news was all over, 2020 when we were in the COVID-19 pandemic and we didn't know how to still keep producing news, and we still did it, and I think that that can be a huge part for the future. So my work with Mahoning Matters, I hope that I am able to shine a light on people in the community that deserve more recognition and help inspire younger journalists to still do it, because I've been here for 2 years and I didn't think I would be in this position, and I want other writers, other communicators to know that they can do it too. Youngstown to me means family, and it's like a second home for me.
What it represents for me personally is home. I think I've already made that probably abundantly clear to you.
It was where I kind of grew up and kind of got to start my own journey as a writer.
Organizationally, it's still probably home. I mean, this is our home. This is where we do our work.
There's so much opportunity here, and because there's so much opportunity, there is some competition. And so being in Youngstown, I think, has shown me that what I can do is do my best, show up, do my best, and that's it. And I think that being in Youngstown is a confidence booster, and you get a lot of opportunities here that you don't get a lot of other places.